Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Men of ZEN, an animation research podcast. My name is Brent.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Aiden.
And today we're talking about a wonderful TV show that has gotten some critical acclaim from multiple different sources, but also a lot of heat from a certain Phil. So we'll be talking about some pretty touchy, interesting information here about a little furry anime TV show that we like to call Beastars, a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Paru Itagaki. The manga was serialized in Akita Shoten's Weekly Shonen Champion and collected into 22 tankobon volumes. Bro, the first season of this, I will admit, like, it was decent. I liked
trash.
the characters. There were some moments where I was a little unnerved. I wouldn't say disappointed, but it was there's some interesting tension. Okay, some really strange small rabbit tension.
Cringe.
But I don't feel it wasn't entirely without purpose. I just didn't know, where it was going to go, because the first season kind of dragged on, but then I got to season 2 and holy shit, this show became one of my favorite. Like, it's so good. I got so it just fucking invested in these characters. I couldn't stop. I needed to know more. I was like, okay, now what the fuck is gonna happen? Because it was rad. This was one of Aiden's suggested shows, and normally Aiden for me is a hit, and this was another hit, but I think Phil might be a little right. Different. What did you think about this?
Oh, you think I didn't like this?
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think you like this a bit.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because you're right. The first season was absolute garbage to me.
That surprises me like so much.
Okay. Genuine thoughts. I was like, I never wanted to watch this show because, all I heard was just like it was cringe. It was like, here's the thing. I have friends that are furry, so I have nothing against like the furry culture. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, when it came to an anime, all I heard was just like it was weird, it was cringy, like it's you either love it or you hate it. And so I just never watched Beastars. Mm-hmm. So when Aiden picked it, I'm like, well, gotta do it now.
Yep.
Now it's for work. Yep. And so I will admit, the first half of the first episode got me like, okay, like this is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
The whole like death of of the student being eaten by another student. In this world, there are herbivore animals. First of all, everyone's an animal, which is, I really wish they would explain that. But anyway,
yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. Yeah, we'll get into the story.
You got your herbivores and you got your carnivores, and they live together, but they also have this stigma. Is a stigma behind them that the herbivores are very cautious about the carnivores because obviously carnivores have to eat meat. Mm-hmm. Where does the meat come from? From the herbivore. In the first part of this episode, you see the student running away, bloodied up from a carnivore, and he gets eaten. Mm-hmm, and I'm like, okay, this is way different than I thought. I'm all for this. And then the rest of the show, the first season, proceeded to waste my time and bore the fuck out of me. And I'm like, when are they gonna do anything about the fucking murder? They talk about it for like 2 episodes and then don't mention it at all until season 2. And then season 2, that becomes like the main focal point, or one of the main focal points. So to me, it just feels like season 1 was just done poorly. Like, they set up a really crazy and really interesting scenario, and then they switch it entirely to, will this wolf hump this bunny? And that's when I'm like, I'm out. Because
when a wolf loves a rabbit, when a rabbit loves a wolf.
Like, it just... That was beautiful, by the way. We gotta record something sometime. But that just... And I remember, I think that scene, I'm not going to say which scene exactly, because you know what, if I had to watch it, you're going to have to watch it too. But I immediately messaged the group, our group chat. I'm like, Aiden, you son of a bitch! Why did you make me watch this?
He knew. Aiden, what? So how did you hear about this first? Did you just you just watched it, or did you hear things about it?
So when I first heard about it, it was like the Crunchyroll Awards. It won like the best opening, I think. And I was like, huh. And then I was like, fuck this show. It's so weird. But then like I kept seeing it pop up for like nominations and stuff, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, for real.
Surprising. I was like, huh. So then I get, it stayed in my back burner. And then I was talking to this one girl at the time, and she's like, we should watch Beastars. I'm like, cool. Then also like I think it was later that day or something, I had a card tournament. Derek was telling me about it because Nicole, she was like binge watching the shit out of it, and he was telling me how much like they watched it. I was like, huh, I'll give it a shot. And it actually turned out to be a lot different than what I thought it was. Like,
it definitely was different than what I thought it was.
I thought it was gonna be cringy, like a furry stuff, but then like there weren't that much furry aspects. They're just animals. Like, but then
is there not?
I really
furry?
if you imagine it as just like animals as the humans, like it's not.
I know.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, because there are no humans, the animals are the
humans,
like they are the people. So for me, it didn't feel. Like, I totally understand, like, everyone's like, everything's an animal, it's furry vibes. But
by definition, yes.
Furry vibes to me, though, are people that, have a relationship or desire, like, to like, partake in some sort of animal culture, whether it's by wearing costumes or...
Their personas.
Right, yeah, their personas, exactly. Which, that is, like, the definition of furry. This, I just don't think is, like, it's a furry... If you've ever read... Phil, if you've ever read a book in your life, Brian...
I think
it's Brian Jakes, I don't know, has this wonderful series called Redwall. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I love
like,
Redwall.
Dude, hell yeah. Martin the Warrior. Yes, Swart Sixclaw from the Outcast of Redwall was my fucking favorite. No joke. Swart was a badass. He had fucking 6 fingers, and everyone was like thinking because he's, he was oh my god, what did you just fucking say? He's
a badger.
Or no, not a badger. The badgers were the people in the mountains. They were like the dwarves of the people. They were the dudes that carried the hammer. Swart Sixclaw was not a ferret. Was he not a Wolverine?
Not a Wolverine, but
a badger.
No, it's not a.
No,
I know what he's talking about. But,
it's something small and squirrely. I thought it was like a really mean ferret or some shit. But yeah, he had like 6 claws, and he was like part of this. I mean, okay, I'm gonna go on fucking forever about Redwall. I'm not gonna talk about that shit. But dude, if you are like a legit fan of like fucking fantasy books, that it is for a slightly younger audience, but it's the first book that got me into like hardcore really fantasy. Good, Like they're thick reads, but the content is a little easier to break down for younger viewers. That guy talked about fucking food all the time. Oh, we had lemon cherry tarts with an orange basil leaf on a tray of bark shavings with a mulled wine of blood. It's like Game of Thrones, but animals.
It is. Yeah, I agree with Brent, though. Like, it's not really furry, because none of them are actually trying to be a different persona. They're being themselves as their own beings. The animals are their own beings.
Like I said, no disrespect to the furry community. You guys do your thing. Whatever makes you happy.
I totally understand that. But yeah, so you heard about these awards. Now, the awards that you're talking about, from what I researched on this, it looked like most of the awards came from the manga. I do know that, like you said, the anime intro got a bunch of awards.
That was a neat intro.
Dude, I love that intro.
It was
Holy
cool.
shit.
I like how they changed it from claymation, and they incorporated a lot of things with it, too.
Oh, not even the visuals. I didn't give a shit about the visuals. The music.
Yeah, the music's good, too.
Ali, the opening theme song, Wild Side. Dude, so good. If you like jazz, kind of blues fucking style shit, oh man, it's technical, it's fun. I'm always gonna relate shit back to Tank from Cowboy Bebop. That's always the epitome of like cool jazz themes. Whenever anyone thinks of like a cool jazz song, they're like, oh yeah, I know Tank, I watched Cowboy Bebop. That's fucking that's all it turns into. Is so fucking good. Oh man, let's get into a little bit about Beastars, an anime made or at least announced in December 2017. The series placed second in the top of the male targeted manga for 2018 in the Kono Manga ga Sugoi guidebook after The Promised Neverland, which fucking great show. We are going to be doing that one sometime. I fucking promise you. I want season 2 so bad. Those fucking little kids get mangled by monsters.
I actually heard they messed up season 2 for the anime.
No! They fucking better not. I want to know.
'Cause I heard a lot of people weren't happy about season 2.
Oh, I will be livid. Fuck. Okay. Well, anyways.
Back to Beastars.
February in 2019, it was announced that Beastars would get an anime television series adaptation animated by CG Studio Orange. Shinichi Matsumi directed the series, with Nanami Higuchi handling the series composition. Nao Otsuo designing the characters, and Satoru Kosaki composing the series music. The series aired from October 10th to December 26th in 2019, and aired on Fuji TV's Plus Ultra anime programming block with other channels. Channels and animals. Wow. Channels and other channels. At the conclusion of the TV broadcast, a second season was announced. Animation Studio Orange returned to produce the second season, which aired from January 7th to March 25th of 2021. And on July 20th, 2021, Studio Orange and Netflix Japan announced that the anime series would be receiving a third season.
Oh, no.
On December 7th, 2021, they announced that the continuation would be the final season. There you go, Phil. All you got to do is watch 12 more episodes and you're done.
Yeah.
It's set to premiere on Netflix in 2024. I read that and went, fuck. I have to wait 2 fucking years for this?
That's a long time.
Right? Fucking fuck me. I want to know. Season 2, seriously, fucking rustled my jimmies, and I want to fucking finish it. It was so good. Like we mentioned earlier, Ali performed the series' opening theme song Wild Side, while Eureka performed the series' ending theme songs Les Zoo in episodes 2, 5, 8, and 9, Sleeping Instinct in 3, 7, and 10, Marble in 4, 6, and 11, and Floating Story on the Moon in episode 12. The opening theme song for the second season is Kaibutsu, or Monster, and the ending theme song is Yasashi Suisei, which is Comet. Both sides are performed by Yaosobi. Season 1 of Beastars was released on March 13th of 2020 on Netflix outside of Japan. Its second season was released on the streaming service on July 15th, 2021.
Wow, so you got 2 seasons in a span of about 2 years, and you have to wait 2 more years to get the third season.
This third season better be so fucking beautiful. It makes my eyes bleed if they're gonna take that long. Or I mean, maybe they just got other shit going on. I mean, it is.
That's fair.
They are a big studio, but
things have changed in the span of the last 2 years.
No, this animation, some of it was definitely CG. You could super tell, and then other parts, I was blown away. I was like, this is CG. It looked so good majority of the time that I was like, oh shit, it legit just feels like it should, like a flat anime. And then at times when they use the rotoscoping fucking pivoting angles, or sometimes you'll see a character lean into a direction and the camera pans with it or something, you get that, oh, this is CG. But for the most part, I'm like, dude, it felt so smooth.
That's one thing I will admit, that as much as I will shit on the first season story-wise, the animation for this series is pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the CGI new style that a lot of anime are going for. In fact, Seven Deadly Sins just dropped a new movie that is almost entirely CGI, and it is the most awful looking CGI for anime that I've ever seen.
Oh
it's
shit!
Berserk, it's Berserk level CGI.
No, it is worse than that.
No
it looks
way.
Awful. Berserk looks better in comparison to that.
That Berserk took me some fucking getting used to. I watched it like the breaking wheel. I watched it, but god damn, did that look like ass. Fucking, I remember watching the first series. That was our second episode that we did Berserk on. We watched that first series. I was like, hell yeah, I fucking want so much more. And he was like, oh, there is more. There's this. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
See, when you have anime that that completely just blows your mind with how great the animation quality is, like Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
Yep.
That animation is amazing.
Yep.
And then you have studios that are using the CGI because it's apparently easier for them to animate, and it's quicker to get out too. But it's just you release something like that and it looks bad, and then it always will have this stigma behind it.
It does.
I feel like it depends on what they do for this, because I've seen so many different CGIs that they either look good or bad depending on how much effort you actually put into it.
For the most part, I don't like CGI anime. Now, sometimes they will mix normal animation with CGI, and it works for the most part. This one going back to Beastars here. Honestly, not a bad one. Some spots looked a little like slow, like the frame rate for some shots were pretty slow, but overall, I mean, I can't complain. The animation quality was pretty good, and I will give their art direction, solid A+.
Now, I remember, a super long-ass time ago, one of the first Blu-rays that I ever bought was a box set of some anime that I'd never watched before, but the animation looked so good to me. I was like, I can't not do this. It reminded me a lot of, like, Akira, like the movie, the style of animation, but it was about something about kids or just, like, people that live on the moon, and they live there because they claimed the Earth was, like, super poisoned and uninhabitable, and they've been there for a really long time, but I can't fucking remember the name of it. There's like a one of the kids who's like a maintenance guy who it goes out and does like work on like some of the cables and stuff outside the moon to their moon base to make sure
I know
that,
what
like,
you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, right.
That does sound familiar.
And I remember like he goes out there and the whole plot is he's like, hey, I found like a bunch of like Earth objects, like there's like pictures or like parts of rockets and shit up here that I found, and he's like, I think the Earth is good. Like they were all like a bunch of old shit, like somebody blasted it up from the planet to be like, hey, we're alive down here, things are fine.
Okay, that does sound super familiar.
But the government on the moon wanted to fucking deny it, and they're like, nope, and they were trying to contain it because they didn't want people to leave.
Yes.
What was that fucking called?
Oh my god, I think I did watch that. I don't remember what it was called.
I'm pretty sure it was a big one too. It's like I think I don't know. It just sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I'll have to
some
look that
research
up
on
later. I totally forgot, but that had that same like 3D CG sort of shit, and there was a handful of times where I went, oh no, but then most of it was fine.
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, I just every single time I think about that CG. The 3D bullshit that I don't like. That's one of the first ones I think of. But now that Aiden has reminded me of fucking Berserk all over again, I don't know if I can unsee that because goddamn, that's like a fucking PlayStation 2 game.
It is.
Holy
like,
God,
I was so disappointed.
Oh, Lord.
I really do want them just to
The angles.
just redo that
Yeah,
2016,
just please.
2017 Berserk. Redo it.
Please. Now going back to Beastars a little bit before we get too off track here. It's like we haven't fucking done that already. Thank you for listening, by the way. We have a little bit of info. Did you guys know there was a stage play?
That I did not, and I was looking at some of the pictures about this stage play, and I'm like, oh no.
Now that is borderline furry, I would say.
You know, now you're not wrong.
Yeah.
100% not wrong. But what is interesting is that this TV show, Beastars, follows largely around a group of people that are a stage play crew.
Right, they're part of the drama club.
Yeah,
in
they
high
put
school.
on all these
By the way,
shows.
this takes place at a high school.
Yeah, right. And believe you me, we'll get into some more details here, but just some background about the show before we get into the juicy, meaty bits of all these.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, of all these bits. But yeah, on December 4th in 2019, the first 2020 magazine issue of Weekly Shonen Champion announced that a stage play based on the manga was in development. I do wonder if the manga is different from the show because of all the awards it's won.
Right.
Because like you said, season 1, I'll admit, was really slow. It was really weird. A whole bunch of fucking nothing happened, and then like the last episode was fucking great, and then season 2 kicks in, and I'm like, hell yeah, why wasn't it like this before? So it makes me wonder if they did like drag it out just for the show, or they really like they tried to highlight the relationship between these two characters too much, and it just didn't quite vibe with me as much as I wanted it to, but I did like the characters. So this stage play was originally scheduled for an April 2020 debut running through May in Tokyo and Osaka. In late March 2020, it was announced that the play had been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Fuck you, COVID-19!
Damn you, COVID! Thanks,
COVID-19, now blow! The wind of God! I'll never fucking forget that guy. He was such a fucking shithead. He looks like a piece of shit. Those fucking crazy eyebrows. the crazy like preacher guy who was like, no blow, who was doing the sermon.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
You don't remember that meme?
Crazy.
I do
crazy
not remember
folk.
that.
No way.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you later. There's
No,
no way.
I was
He was
like, I have
like
no
one of
idea
the
what you guys are
poster.
talking about.
He was like the poster child of COVID. He had these fucking crazy satanic little beaded eyes. Like you knew he was like he's like the rat of the group. Like everyone looks at you and goes, "You're fucking up to no good. I don't trust you." But for some reason, he's still with the crew. Yeah, that's him. So, however.
100%.
there were plans to have this stage play postponed instead. But as of October 2021, the manga has over 7.5 million copies in circulation. Holy shit. Beastars has won multiple awards in 2018, including the 11th Manga Taisho, being the first Akita Shoten title to receive it. The new Creator Prize at the Tezuka Osama Cultural Prize. I know we talked about that in one of our earlier episodes. You can definitely just, I don't know fucking which one, go listen to them. I don't know. It's in there. The 42nd Kodansha Manga Award in the Shonen category, and the New Face Award at the 21st Japan Media Arts Festival. Now, Phil, tell us, what exactly is Beastars?
You know, I would be glad to talk about Beastars.
I'm going to make you talk about all the goodness. Talk about it.
Oh, you ask too much of me, Brent. Oh, man. What exactly is Beastars? Well, the story takes place in an alternate version of our world, where anthropomorphic animals rule the land instead of humans. Humanity doesn't exist here. However, much like our world, this one too faces societal problems. Carnivores living among herbivores and predators living among prey. Carnivores are forced by society and the law to shun meat of any kind and stick to substitutes or a plant-based diet. For some carnivores, this is unacceptable, and their inner instincts take control.
May I ask a question, Phil?
Ooh, okay.
I swear, didn't they? You said so. I swear they ate like eggs and stuff. Like they did supplements. Like not like
Yeah, there's like eggs.
they ate eggs.
Yeah, they
and
do. But that's
other-
like something given willingly by the
chickens,
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah.
chicken.
There are chicken people that give their eggs.
How fucking big do you think those, like, so if she's supposed to be like 5'5", 6 foot, like people, how fucking big are those eggs? They showed little tiny things. Those are like fucking, like if you've ever pushed like teeny tiny turds out your butt, they'd be like that. Like, why are those eggs so fucking
Did they
small?
scale up the chicken legs? I thought they were normal chicken size.
They were, but no, but the chickens were huge. The chickens were people sized.
Yeah.
They were like the same size as everyone else.
They were people
Really?
chickens.
Yeah. So why are their eggs like so fucking like regular like refrigerator egg size? That shit ain't free range.
These are the questions you have.
Yes.
Among many things in
Yes.
the show, that's
you
the
imagine?
question you have.
The things that apply to this world, yes.
Can you imagine that's your one purpose in life? Like I shit out eggs for people to eat in this cafeteria.
People eat my egg poops. Oh, good lord.
God.
Well, the main focus that we were talking about earlier is the alpaca, Tem, was devoured at Cherryton Academy in the school's auditorium. This has the area on high alert, causing many students to doubt the true intentions of their meat-eating friends. And then they drop it for all the rest of season one.
Well, like,
I don't know.
They bring it up sometimes.
Occasionally.
They'll be walking down the hall like, oh, this is the place where such and such was murdered. And they're like, oh, he was,
Right.
oh, they call it a devouring. He was devoured here. But then
Right.
they're just like, we don't want to talk about it. And they just drop it and walk away. And that's
Right.
it.
Like, nothing happened. Like, they make a big deal of it for the first episode, maybe the second episode, and then they just drop it. And then they don't pick it up until the second season starts. And that's where, in my opinion, the show gets good.
Yep.
Because they focus on the mystery of it. Now, this cultural divide of carnivore and herbivores is the central source of our drama and our main protagonist, Legoshi, a gray wolf that is learning to cope with his feelings towards a white rabbit named Haru. Is it love or desire to devour? She's never felt this way before. He can't stay away from her. But maybe it's for the best. Can he control himself enough to open up to a forbidden romance? Find out next time on
Dragon Ball Z. Now,
Haru definitely has like bunny AIDS or something. She definitely does.
Oh, dude. Okay, so Haru is a little bit of a hoe bunny.
oh, hell yeah. I'm
She,
so
you know,
glad you
like-
brought that up. I forgot to write that in here. She's a fucking hoe bag.
So, okay, respect, power, you know, women sleep with whoever you want.
Oh yeah, no,
but-
I don't give a shit. But
Right.
she like straight up when this wolf meets her, she immediately starts declothing and is like, "Well, I assume you're here for one thing. You want to fuck me real bad."
Just like everyone else.
And Lego, she's
His
like,
like goes up to not even his waist.
right, but like Lego, she's eyes like start going red, and he's like, "I want to fucking eat the fuck out of you, or do I really like you? I'm not sure." And he just goes, and like runs away.
Legoshi would definitely destroy Haru.
Have you
but-
ever called a rabbit sexy, Phil?
I don't think I have. No.
No.
I like
I
there's,
mean, one of my
there's, like,
ex-girlfriins did dress up as the Easter Bunny.
as I said, there's like
Is
those
that a
bunny
furry?
girls.
no, that's a different thing.
You sure?
I'm she put the ears on. That's about it.
Does that constitute as a
Hell
furry?
yeah, it counts as a furry. From
I
what
don't believe
you
that.
give me shit all the time for cat girls, so that the bunny girls are the same
Hey,
equivalent.
there's a difference. There's a difference.
So Phil,
You mean it.
I do not.
Yeah, like
I've seen you Photoshop.
And
Yes,
I wonder
for fun.
why they decide. Like, okay, I totally understand why they probably went with a rabbit because it is, like a pure animal that only eats plants. So I get that, and they
Also, they
she
hump
wants
like
to show
rabbits. Remember that saying?
right. Oh yeah, true. I didn't even think about that.
Rabbits fuck a lot.
Yeah, they do.
They procreate like crazy.
Oh damn! Now it almost I don't know. It would have been more interesting if like she was a cat instead. So like she would be like, I want to fucking eat that pussy. But they didn't. It was a rabbit, so you can't make fun sex jokes about it. So
No. And it's just, like I said, she barely gets up to his waist.
Yeah.
That girl would literally be.
oh.
That girl would be in pain.
Later on, Legoshi gets like hounded by this, and they're like, "How did that even work? Like, did you like almost split her in half?" Like everyone quite literally is like,
Pretty-
"What the
I'm pretty
fuck, bro?"
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lego. She's packing schmeat bigger than her.
Oh goddamn,
Probably.
he's
Just lays it
fucking
and she just gets body slams.
power pull extend and just fucking.
It's like
rams
those
it through.
cartoons. Yeah, she just like lays like flat down. And just
You see her stomach expand.
Oh god, let's not talk about that.
But no, speaking of a different subject, though, back to like, I do like how they show the strengths though, of the carnivores versus like the herbivores in a lot of things. Like,
Right.
there's an incident where one guy got his arm ripped off in an accident.
Yes.
He's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that." And he's like, "My arm."
That
It's
is a
just-
big thing. Carnivores in this universe are incredibly strong in comparison to herbivores. So there's
Depends
a
on the
lot-
herbivore. Depends. On the
There's
herbivore.
yeah, true, but there's a lot of instances where carnivores accidentally hurt herbivores in the school or in just in
Yep.
general in life in a society, and that's why there's a stigma between the two of them. If that's the right word I'm using.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like a huge prejudice, I would say. In between,
Yeah, it was like
Right.
prejudice is what I would go with. But no, like I'm glad you brought that up too. So I was gonna like write about that, but that was one of the most shocking scenes that I don't did. You got to that part, right?
Where the little,
don't
like,
try
black
don't try to spoil too much. But we'll just say
yeah,
yeah.
it's in season 2. Where
yeah. There's-
that actually
Yeah.
like caught me
So
back
they-
into it.
Yeah, because they bring it up that it like happens all the time. Where I mean, not on purpose, but these carnivores are so strong. Even though they're like friends with an herbivore, they'll just absolutely like. Have you seen Toy Story, where fucking Woody is trying to fool all of his friends in Sid's house that Buzz Lightyear is right next to him, and he's like, "Hi guys, look at me, I'm Buzz. How are you
Oh,
doing,
God.
gang?" And he's like, "What are you trying to pull?" And he fucking leaves his arm off, and he goes, "Nothing." And like, ah, like he fucking just ripped his arm off, and he's like, "Oh shit!" It's like that where it just
Ripped my arms off.
it just kind of shut up. I didn't rip them. It just happens, and like, oh my god, it was so shocking. It's like it does this scene where it doesn't show it. Just after, like, there's some people talking, and then just in the background you hear people yelling, and then suddenly, like, another student has his arm gone, and I'm like, what in the fuck just happened? He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it," and he's like holding on to this guy's arm. I'm like, fucking dude.
How does that absolutely happen? It's like, oops, I accidentally ripped your arm off.
Right? Like, I mean, just because you're an herbivore doesn't mean your arms are fucking thin as paper. They still have, like, there's no way you just be like, "Oops, all fucking berries," and just rip that shit. There's no way. But
I mean, I don't know. Those animals are pretty strong. Like,
They
I can
are,
see
but,
like
like,
a bear
how-
doing it easily. Just like, oh hey,
right, but why wouldn't he just accidentally lift the animal and throw him instead? Like, he's not an insect. You're not going to be like, "Come here, spider," blip, and just boop that little thing off of there. He's got a bunch of meat and bones on there. There's no way it's that easy. There ain't no fucking way. But that's what happens. Apparently, herbivores are like fucking. I don't even know what to call it. Like, this fragile as china glass. And
yeah.
you
I
just
don't know.
whips.
To me,
Can't
it really
touch them.
depends. Because
Yeah.
No touchy.
what was the deer's name again?
Louis.
Louis, or was it Louis or Louis?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Louis.
I
Louis?
swear to God, it sounded like they were saying Rui.
Rui. Well,
But no, I looked up. It is Louis, but it sounded like the entire time I was watching it that they were calling him Rui. And I don't know, maybe that's my ears being broken.
Probably.
But speaking of the main cast, we have Legoshi, voiced by Jonah Scott in the English dub, derived from the name Bela Lugosi, an actor who played Dracula in older vampire movies. The author of the series borrowed from it because it sounded mysterious and elegant.
They're not
I'll admit,
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it is a good
Legoshi is. There's a lot of like interesting names. You got a lot of Japanese names, and then you have a lot of just basic ass names. For example, we have Jack. He's the dog, right? Like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Lego. She's like childhood friend is this golden
little-
retriever.
Yeah, he's all looking. He always looks so happy.
Dude, okay.
His
You
name is
remember
Jack.
the episode where Jack is like, and he's like in they're like bunkmates or roommates
Yeah.
or whatever, and he finds a fucking magazine on rabbits because Lego she's tried to decide like, do I really like Haru or do I just want to eat her? And he runs into some help later that's like, here, take this magazine, read it, and then decide for yourself. And
Yep.
he's like, all right. He doesn't really do anything with it, but fucking Jack finds it, and to him it's like pornography, and Jack's
Right.
like, I found something in your room. Like, we can talk about anything, right? Like, we're best friends. He's like, yeah. And he's like, I found this, and I don't know what to think. And it's like the equivalent of a fucking porno mag, but it's all fucking rabbits. Okay. All right. What the fuck?
Other great characters like Louis, voiced by Griffin Pateau.
I did not like Louis at all.
He was one of the more interesting characters, I think. He's a deer. He's a deer.
I thought he was a douchebag though.
He's a
He's a deer, no, he's a
Is he
douchebag.
buck or a deer? No, he's a buck.
Yeah, well, he's a male. But
Yeah. So
Male
the
deer,
male, yeah.
antlers and all that. He's essentially the top drama student who's kind of like the king of the high school.
Yeah,
essentially. Everyone loves him. He's elegant and
he's the current like Beast Star,
Yeah.
right? Or
well, he was in
he-
the running to
yeah.
be the
he was in the
Beastar.
running. Okay.
Phil, you
Which
should
we'll
explain.
get into
Yeah, I was
about
gonna
the
say.
Beastar later on. Then we have Bill, voiced by Kaiji Tang. I can't tell if that is that Kaiji. Is Kaiji the English or dub act? English,
I'm
dub
pretty
or
sure this
sub
was
actor?
all the English actors.
Okay, so Bill's a tiger, a Bengal tiger.
Yeah.
He kind of goes back and forth from being a good guy to an asshole, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how I felt about him as a character in general.
Oh yeah. In Japanese, Bill is played by Torashima Takaki.
Okay, perfect. So that's it. And finally, we have Haru, our horny rabbit, voiced by Laura Jill Miller. In Japanese, Haru means light, sun, or male. And Haru meaning spring, or Haru meaning clear weather. So a lot of different meanings
There
behind
were
the name.
three.
depending on-
I think there were three different characters that I found for that same word. So I was like, realistically, I'm assuming it doesn't mean male, but it could
Right.
mean any of the others. So I guess because it's this white rabbit, a lot of it applies. And even then, beyond that, we've got some other amazing characters like Goheen.
Oh, he's my favorite character. Favorite
He's
character by far.
Fucking rad. He's this badass panda bear who's like Rambo that fucking ends up training Lego She to be
Right.
like super fucking strong and to tell him to fucking not be a bitch and stop eating meat and do what you think is right. He's a cool character. Juno.
Is a female wolf
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's got the hots for our boy Lego
See,
She.
I was disappointed in Legoshi. I was like, you should smash. She wants it.
Right?
I mean, he's
she
into
totally
those
does.
fun-sized girls.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then, I'm not gonna lie, that scene with her and Louis was kind of, I was like, huh.
I don't know what scene you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one you referring to? With
Where she just like went alpha on him? And then I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was
She's
like,
like
wait,
on-
yeah,
yeah.
that scene.
Yep.
Okay, that was cool. And that was
that's
the
like,
coolest
I
thing
thought that
she
was
ever did
badass.
throughout the
I
whole
was
show.
like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, she's pretty cool, and like a lot of people in the show, like in show, they try to ship Lego She and Juno together because she's another gray wolf, even though she is a bit more like brown. I guess I don't know what determines the fact that they'd be called a gray. It must be like for some reason I almost said genre.
She is a genre of wolf.
I don't fucking know, but yeah, like a subspecies of wolf, like it's what it's technically. I don't fucking know. Yeah, we talked about Jack. Leghorn is a rooster. That's
Yeah.
Is Legom the one that is like making the eggs that Lego She actually like really likes?
I don't think it's. Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, that must
I don't
be
know, I
it.
think so.
Because she's voiced by it says Sakura Ando.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So I think
That
that
must
is-
be, but what's interesting is that at least from the picture, I never really thought about it. That's a rooster, which is a male.
That's what I thought. When you said, I thought it was a guy, but
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different person.
Yeah, maybe there's one I'm forgetting. I
All
don't
blending
fucking know.
together.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like smaller supporting characters that you only see at times when like the drama club is together and they don't really do anything else other than they are there to be in this drama play. And Louis, I don't fucking remember what they call
I think
him.
it's Louis. Just Louis.
Yeah, he's the star of this drama club, and man, is he fucking theatrical. It's fucking, he's like a boss on stage, and everyone is like on pins and needles waiting for him to come up and do his part and do his thing. And there's some times where he wasn't able to make it due to an injury. So Bill, this tiger, takes his place, and he's like, I'm gonna do my best to embody your spirit and soul. But Bill, being a tiger, wants to enhance his performance to really come across fierce. So he brings a vial of blood from, I don't remember what animal.
Oh God,
I don't
it's
know
like
if-
a sheep's blood. or-
Something like that. So in this show, there is like a version of the black market where
Yep.
carnivores can go to find meat, and it's like a known place, but it's also a place that everyone knows that you only go there if you're a carnivore, or if for some reason you really want to fucking get eaten.
Right.
I guess that's where you would go. So people go there and they just don't talk about it. But
Right.
he goes and he gets like a vial of blood and he like sniffs it. And when they're like around meat or blood like that, carnivores just like they lose their shit and they're like, fuck yeah. So he like gets high on animal blood basically. But Lego Shi, our main character, is like super against it. He's been very diligent about never eating meat. He only eats like egg salad sandwiches and salads and that kind of shit. So he gets pissed. Bill's out there on stage trying to fucking pour his heart and soul into this role, and Lego, she's just like, you motherfucker! It just goes on stage to try to fuck him up.
Hey man, I'm just trying to drink this animal blood, and Lego, she's like, not on my watch.
Yeah, right? Dude, that was a fight.
Raggedy bitch.
But yeah, like you're right. Like you said earlier, Bill, I can't really tell if he was like being an asshole just because, he's an asshole, or was he really doing it just to be like, like, I don't know, to try to enhance his performance and really put on a good show. But then, like, if me and this guy at work, I used to pick him up, and we would try to make up fucking stupid games on our way to work while we drove there. And we would sometimes be like, hey, do you want to have a fake fight? And we'd be like, sure. So we would make up stupid scenarios of us like being like fake people, and we would legit, like, sometimes the fight would get really intense. I'm like, none of this is real, let's stop.
This is getting too real.
Yeah, was it like that where like, he's just trying to, to encourage everyone to do their best and do his role right, but in the middle of that, they accidentally built up real tension, and then they're like, well, wait, let's dial it back here, hold on. So
I mean, he is an actor, so...
Yeah, right?
It just feels like a lot of these characters kind of flip-flop back and forth between they're good, you should like them, to they're assholes, you should hate them.
I mean,
and Bill's one of those characters that like I couldn't figure out if I really liked them or hated them. So right now I just kind of feel like towards them, like he's memorable but not in a good way.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, really strange. Well, hey, let's take a quick minute here. Let's go ahead and pause and let's hear a quick word about our current partner. So we'll hear back from the rest of our show and learn about a little bit about Paru Itagaki here in just a minute. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Phil here. I want to take a brief break from our episode to talk about our partner, Dubby Energy. Dubby was voted America's tastiest gaming energy drink of 2022. It has nootropics, that healthy stuff, vitamins, we all need those, no sugar, 0 calories, no artificial colors, and no maltodextrin. You know what that is. Because I don't. But hey guys, check out their website, dubby.gg. Use our discount code Men of Zen for 10% off your order. Check out some of the new flavors like Dub Sludge, Galaxy Grenade, and Peachin' Beachin' Peachin'. Thank you so much for checking us out. Back to the episode.
All right, now before we get too far into Paru Itagaki, our illustrator and writer, there are a couple other things I do think we should really mention about this show that are really big key factors in this, and that is the criminal underground of it's almost like a mafia, a mob-like type shit called Shishigumi.
There's a lot of goomies though in this. Maybe I'm not using the right part of that term, because like in the second season they talk about there's like the snakes of this group, or the like panthers of this group, and they use like a shishi gumi, or is it oh god, like they have a lot of the same names. They have a lot of the same names for different organizations.
What does gumi mean in Japanese? Does it mean...
I do not know.
Oh, you know, that's a really good question.
It would make sense if it means a gang or something. Then yeah, I can see like.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's a bunch of different gangs, but the Shishigumi, in general, is a gang of lions. You going into the lion's den, baby.
No, so I wonder if I don't know, maybe that is it. What if it's because, I mean, gumi in Japanese, they're just like, oh, you mean like rubber or gum? And I'm like, no, that's super fucking wrong. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ones, and I wonder if it's just shishi as the portion. I kept accidentally saying it as like shinigami, and I was like, that's wrong.
That's a different...
This ain't fucking Death Note over here. But these this criminal underground, they're ruthless, dude. They're largely all carnivores. And they deal in like the equivalent of like child trafficking, or slavery and that kind of shit. But it's just for people to get their fucking kicks and thrills or their fill of meat. Like, oh god, the movie Hostel sort of shit. Like they torture people all the fucking time. It's crazy. But the main group, Shishigumi, they're all tigers. But they are straight up mafia mob bosses.
Wait,
they're
tigers? I thought they were lions.
Oh yeah, no,
Lions,
you're right. Yeah, they were
yeah.
lions, not tigers. I'm fucking stupid. Lion, tigers, bears, fucking whatever, same shit. But yeah, no, it's a really big deal, and they mainly operate within like the realm of the black market. They're like a really big advocate. They're almost one of the reasons why the black market functions the way that it does, because they're the fucking the fuel behind the fire, basically. And it's a big deal. Like, you get caught up with Shishigumi and you're into some deep shit.
Like people are scared when you say their name. They're like, "Don't talk about that."
Yeah, you don't talk about that shit. That's no, that's cursed. You don't do that shit at all unless you want to die.
I would say like they're kind of equivalent to like the Yakuza kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why I didn't think about that first rather than the mafia, considering this is like a Japanese thing. But you know, whatever. It is what it is. They're a bunch of badasses that just want to go out and kill people. But at the same time, they are lions. Like, how do you fight instinct? Like, when that's your whole shit, like that's your jam, is you're like, I fucking want to eat things, but the things you want to eat is other people. Like, how fucking weird would that be on the street if some dude's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking eat you? Like, well, that's fucked up, man.
Like, it's like when you think about it, you know, also a pride of lions.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of funny that the lions are, you know, make up this entire gang. Just a little like, you know, funny coincidence there.
Yeah.
But Aiden, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it would suck ass to be like a little herbivore, like just a weak one. Like, there's like if you're a bear, like a panda or something. Like I mean, I guess like he trained himself. But if you're something more like if you're just like a ram, cool, you can defend yourself, or like a deer. But if you're just like I'm a bunny.
I'm a bunny.
And there's lions I go to school
scary.
with. Yeah, that would suck. It is like dang.
Like in our society as you know, humans, not animals, like if you were walking down the street, how fucking awkward would it feel to be like weird to somebody? I'm at like a fucking flank steak right now, and you're just walking through the mall wondering, damn, who wants to eat me? Like legit, not just like in a nice sexy way.
Like I'd say that'd be the equivalent of like you being like a minority and you going to the school and you know like all these races here want to kill you. And it's like cool.
Yeah,
and
but this isn't like they don't necessarily just want to kill you. They want to eat you, and not just because they're violent, but because that's their instinct.
Right.
That's their shit. That's what they do. And their entire life, these carnivores are forced to not follow their instincts. That really must suck. Like, while I totally understand society's like, oh fuck, they're eating other people. They're carnivores, dog. Like, so I get it.
That's why I feel like I would love to know how the society came about.
Right?
Because it just feels like they were placed in their roles. Like, you know, hey, you're a carnivore, you're a herbivore, this is how society works. but the carnivores have to fight their urges, like you said. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels so weird that like this is how society has gotten, but yet it's like their instincts are the exact opposite of a functioning society.
Yeah.
There's like that mayor. The mayor they have is a lion,
Right.
and he said himself he had plastic surgery done to his teeth
to
make him look more non-threatening. 'Cause he had sharp teeth, so he had like he made it more humanoid teeth, so people wouldn't be scared of him.
Right, which is weird that he has like filed down like regular ass human teeth when humans don't exist. Oh man, it would be really interesting to find out later if this was like an island of animals and people do exist and they're like, we don't fucking go over there. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, we don't go near People Town.
Where the wild things are.
We make sure they never have the technology to learn how to fly.
It's kind of like that meme that's like, Simba, everything the light touches is our domain. What about that area over there? That's where the humans live. We don't go there.
We don't. They got shit called guns. You don't want to fucking know about that.
Guns exist in this
They
world.
eat everyone.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah,
You're right.
I was gonna say-
You're still right. No,
The guns
I
exist.
totally forgot about that. You're right. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I just feel like this is such a weird show. Like, yeah, I understand it's animals, but like, where did they come from? How did they evolve into this society?
Yeah, like who was the first animal that's like, you know what? I really want to eat you, but at the same time, I kind of just want to be your roommate because things would be like really easy. Like if we paid half the bills.
Right.
I don't know.
It's freaking weird, man.
Why are there bills in the animal world where they're just like...
But hey,
I gotta pay my animal money. I wonder what kind of.
can I give you an egg in these trying times?
Imagine
they
being a
have-
lion, like, I'm gonna use a gun.
Did they just have, like, was it money or dollar? What was it? Did they say was it yen?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
it
I
was,
think they just did a Japanese
Was it
equivalent.
just yen? That's interesting.
It's the multiverse. It's a different universe.
Yeah.
where-
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this. Yeah. It's alternate. Okay. I get. This was the when CERN lit up the particle accelerator and they altered that first electron for the first time when we shifted into an alternate universe and everyone's got the fucking Mandela effect. These people are like, do you remember one time we were things called humans? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
half the people are like, yeah, no, I think we were called people. And they're like, no, that ain't fucking right. You're stupid. That ain't how it went. Yeah. Maybe they're like a weird alternate universe Mandela effect shit. I don't know. It's fucking strange.
Speaking of people, though, Brent, who is Paru Itakagi?
Paru Itagaki, born on September 9th, 1993. They are younger than I am.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
How are they so fucking accomplished? You know why? Because their society actually promotes focus on things that you love rather than beats you down with bills and debt for the rest of your fucking life. So there's that. They're a Japanese manga artist. She is best known as the creator of the manga series Beastars, for which she has won the 2018 manga Taisho, a Tezuka Osamu Cultural Prize, a Kodansha Manga Award, and a Japan Media Arts Festival Award. She is the daughter of manga artist Keisuke Itagaki. You know who that is? The person who fucking made Baki the Grappler.
Yep, that's actually one of the pieces of the fun facts I learned, and now I just realized are useless because you already had it here.
Yeah, I already had it here, dog. I'm good. Itagaki began painting in kindergarten. I would not have had the fucking drive for that. I was learning how to play with my fucking lima bean called Dappy and putting Legos away. That was my fucking focus on cleaning
You
up
guys
my
ever
mess.
play with monkeys in a barrel?
Oh yeah, of course I know Monkeys in a Barrel.
They just put monkeys in a barrel.
They started drawing manga in the 2nd grade. Again, what the fuck, man? I was drawing like Rugrats. As a teenager, she developed the character Legoshi, an anthropomorphic wolf who would later appear in her manga series Beastars. So she did that a long time ago.
So she might be a furry.
No, yeah, maybe.
But the anime is not a furry.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. No, yep. So she cites Disney movies and the artist Nicola de Crecy and Egon Schiele in her early as her early influences. I don't even know those names, let alone like to be in the 2nd grade and be like, oh yeah, I'm totally influenced by these French artists. Yeah,
Remember, she being born in 1993.
You're right. She
was in 2nd grade, like early 2000s.
Oh yeah, you know.
So
no,
well, 2nd grade is
it would have been like 1998.
5. No, you're not.
She's
Well,
2
I guess
years younger
second
than
grade.
five
Second
years.
grade, she would have been like 1999.
Hell, she's 1
2000.
year younger than you.
No, 2 years younger than me.
You're born in 92.
No, 91.
Oh.
How dare you not know my birthday?
I thought you were 1 year younger than me, and I was born in 91, so I was like...
No, man, I'm a couple months younger than you.
Yeah, but no, I mean, same thing. We're like, realistically, we're not like that far apart. It's only a 6-year gap, so I don't really think the technology she had would have been so much more advanced. Like, because I guess her 2000. So if I'm a small child watching Pokemon the movie 2000, trying to think of the shit that like I had available to me, I had a Game Boy and a Nintendo 64 and didn't know what the internet was.
So typically second graders are usually between the age of 7 and 8.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, same thing though. I mean, so she was more culturally knowledgeable about like fucking French artists while I was trying to fucking learn to play Number Muncher.
Right. That's impressive.
Right. I mean, that's just...
Number Muncher was fun, though.
Yeah, Number Muncher, fucking Math Blaster. Remember that?
Space Cadet.
Space Cadet, hell yeah. Dude, that fucking, the pinball game, you fucking bet your ass that shit was the best. Mm-hmm. That's just, it's crazy how our cultures are so different. How, like, we're fucking stupid as shit. Actually, I saw an article on that about how there were twins. I don't remember if it was Korean or Japanese, but it was twins, and one was raised in her native land and the other was raised in America, and they were like, there's a definite IQ gap there. I'm like, that's not surprising at all.
Oh no, 100%.
100%. They are focused on so many different things. It's ridiculous. We're still learning about fucking wars that happened in the 1800s, trying to memorize dates about people I don't give a fuck about. They're actually learning useful like tips on how to live life. So there's that. She later attended the Musashino Art University. That's a mouthful. That was hard to say. Where she studied filmmaking. She continued to pursue manga as a hobby while in university, creating doujinshi that she would sell at doujinshi conventions.
Not surprised. Called it.
While doujinshi is not like synonym. Is that see how fucking stupid I am? Is that synonym for furry?
Doujinshi is essentially spicy manga.
Right, but that doesn't necessarily mean animals. But knowing her was probably spicy animals. So after being able to find a job in the film industry, Itagaki submitted her doujinshi to editors at the publishing company Akita Shoten, which began publishing her short story collection Beast Complex.
See, now that sounds kind of sus.
Complex. You're like, oh
So
no.
you should look up Legoshi Rule 34.
No.
I
Put that on my search history.
I am curious.
How many Google's targeted ads at me after that?
You do it. Let me know how many wolf dicks
I
show
don't have
up on
my
your
thumbs.
Google
I'm wearing mittens.
That
I
lipstick.
Can't. Do it on your phone. You have accessible thumbs.
Hell no, I'm not doing that.
My thumbs are covered in.
Don't need Google
yarn.
targeting me with ads after that.
Man. Where the fuck was I? So she did Beast Complex. That appeared in Weekly Shonen Champion in 2016. That same year, Weekly Shonen Champion began serializing Itagaki's critically and commercially acclaimed series Beastars. In September 2019, Itagaki's autobiographical manga series Paruno Graffiti began serialization in Kiss. In 2021, Itagaki launched a new manga series titled Sanda or Sanda, don't know which that is pronounced as, probably Sanda, in the 34th issue of Weekly Shonen Champion on July 21st. Now, I am curious about Sanda. I will look into that, I'll admit, but a list of her other works. So she's done a couple of other things besides I assume, I don't know if they're all animal people or not, but obviously starting with Beast Complex that ran from 2016 to 2019 and then again later in 2021, Beastars from 2016 to 2020, Paruno Graffiti or Paruno Graffiti serialized in Kiss from 2019 to 2020. Check this one out. Drip Drip. Not sure what that's supposed to imply, but maybe I should read a little bit about it before I try to judge it too much. But it's also called Bota Bota, serialized in Weekly Manga Goraku in 2020 to 2021. And then finally, Sanda. She's also done a couple one-shots called Whitebeard in the Boine or Shirohige Toboin, published in Weekly Manga Goraku 2018. And then Manga Noodles, or in Japanese it's called Manga Men, published in Monthly Comic Xenon in 2019.
She sounds like a hoarding artist.
Oh, probably. Do you think she just looks at nature and goes, "Wow, what is it like to fuck that?
Let's make it sexy.
What would that snake look like with boobs?"
Oh my god.
Phil, you need to look
Let's
up
not talk
Beastars
about
for the
favorite anime.
One of these times he's gonna make us watch that, and I'm gonna be like, "All right." Phil's gonna go, "No."
I have my one card. I have my one no card.
Not that bad.
It's when you say not that bad, it normally means it's that bad.
You know what? For my next pick, I'm going to do interspecies reviewers, and you guys are going to have to watch it.
he knows
Joke's on
I'll
you. You
watch
already
it.
made me watch that.
I'll watch
You
as
didn't
much-
finish it.
There's a good reason I didn't.
That show tried to finish him.
But hey, Aiden, would you like to give us a little bit of inside knowledge on what a furry is?
I actually don't know what a furry is. I don't partake in that dark side of the web.
You sure?
Well, what do you like?
No.
What's your?
Let me pull it up on my little handy dandy notebook. What is a furry? The term furry describes a diverse community of fans, artists, writers, gamers, and role players. Most furries create for themselves an anthropomorphic phased.
Yeah, anthropomorphous.
It's a big word.
Promorphized.
Anthropomorphic morphin time.
Yep, that word.
Time.
Animal character, or also known as a fursona, with whom they identify and can function as an avatar within the community they are in. Some furries wear elaborate costumes called fursuits or paraphernalia, like strap-ons.
I think it just means like accessory. Well, I
Accessory.
mean, maybe strap-ons. Like, well, so like, there's a dude. He's got like a big dick, but he's like, yeah, but this is an elephant's dick.
Yeah.
it covers my real one.
Do you think it's battery? Do you think it's battery powered and just like does?
Hold on, I need to charge it. He fucking plugs it into USB, and he's like
Just
standing there.
rotates.
My cord's only 3 foot long. We have to do it here.
You just hear,
But yeah, those accessories such as animal ears, tails, and whatnot that represents themselves as the anthropomorphic animal in online communities, such as Second Life. So more than 75% of furries are under the age of 25. Approximately 84% of furries identify as male, 13 as female, and
Wow.
2.5 are transgender. Now, furries are predominantly 83.2% exactly white.
Because where the fuck? We're the fucked up
Where do
ones.
these
It's
stats
us.
come from? Approximately
damn white people.
Approximately 1/3 identify as exclusively heterosexual. Furries are about 5 times more likely to identify exclusively as homosexual. More homosexual than their general population. So nearly 60% of the furry fandom reports, part-time or full-time enrollment in post-secondary education.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure Phil's a furry.
Yeah, he's a
Use
closet
you.
furry.
Yeah, like I've seen yours.
You actually dated a furry once.
I've dated several furries.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was
I
that like?
forgot about that.
It wasn't. She was normal. You guys know her.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
she was cool.
Oh, no, she's cool.
Annie?
Annie, yeah.
Annie.
Annie, are you okay? Are you
Yes.
okay? Hey, Annie, I've noticed that you were white. Are you okay?
I'm pretty sure
no,
she wasn't white.
She's not. She's
Yeah,
actually
really?
Native American.
She was Native American.
Oh,
But
was
she's
she?
got a very light skin complex. I've seen pictures of her with her mom, and yeah. it's-
Well, okay, let's just replace the word white with American. Because there's Native American, and then there's American. But I think we can just maybe just blanket that a little bit and just say it's the people that were born here.
yeah, that's fair. I'd say that's fair.
Honestly, now that I think about it, so Native Americans, are they like the foundation of furries? They're all about inhabiting the spirit of, the eagle or the wolf or the bear. Like it's a very spiritual thing to them. They do wear the feathers and headdresses of those animals and the skins and stuff. Like, are they the true OG furries of
Brian's,
our
I'm going to
world?
need to stop you right there before
we get canceled.
something bad happens.
We just get canceled.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Native American, dog. I am a quarter Native American, so y'all can fuck off. I can say whatever the fuck I want. No, I'm not like legit. I don't know.
All right. Many of the negative stereotypes about furry fandoms were, tested and found out to be unsustainable. When compared to a control group, furries were significantly more likely to have a history of being physically and verbally abused.
Aw.
A difference particularly prominent during adolescence. So like 61.7% versus 37.1%. Our studies indicate that 65% of furries say that they have told almost no one in their family about their furry interests, and approximately 70% of them say that they have told almost no one. So I don't know, Phil. That's why I feel like you're a furry.
Right?
You keep denying it, but I don't know, man.
Man, like I don't like wearing leather.
Let me
at
check
anime
his
conventions
closets.
anymore.
Yeah.
He's got
These big ass closets.
What are you hiding?
So furries, they see in a day-to-day life, approximately 6% of furries agree that, they felt prejudice against furries from society. While approximately 40% of furries felt that being a furry was not socially acceptable. Phil,
What?
you keep
See, this all just keeps coming back to you, dog.
Back to you.
Keeps
I don't
coming
know.
back
why
to
you
you.
keep- I feel like you're projecting here, Aiden.
I'm not projecting. You know what I like? I'm not furry, but I'm down to fuck an animal.
Wait, what?
If
I think you need to rephrase
Let me
that.
rephrase it. Snake chick, cat chick. I'd fuck a bunny girl. As long as they're
Is Haru your type?
no, so it's Haru's full bunny. Bunny girl is like human body parts, bunny ears.
But I mean, technically in this show, they have
Like,
limbs.
so,
and
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The I don't remember what that race is called in that game, but
Chocobo.
I would know.
Chocobo.
No.
the Moogles?
No.
So like
Moogle is full of stuffed animal.
space planet cuties, race of alien cat chicks. I would fuck them. They have cat tails, cat ears, and they do their own thing.
Yeah.
But
we need to get a
there's
gif
no-
of you just doing it. Yeah.
There's no fur on them or anything, besides
Is that
in
deal
the pubic
breaker for you?
area. I'm assuming, but yeah, that's what I'm into. I'm not into more fur than what's supposed to be there.
Okay, not into all that fur.
Like if you have furry tits, I'm sorry. That's
Oh, that'd be so weird. I'd be like squeezing a
Who's a
bag
stuffed
of
animal?
carpet sandbags or like
all right. Back to my handy dandy notebook here. Where was I?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. When seeking counseling, I guess, or therapy for unrelated conditions, many furries report that they were driven away by therapists who ignore their problems. They were the problems they were experiencing, aka depression and whatnot. Instead they focus on being a furry as the problem. Our society also shows that other fan groups dislike furries, so furries are furries' fears. I need glasses are founded. Most furries represent themselves and interact with fandoms using personas that represent idealized versions of themselves in the community. Usually more outgoing, sociable, extroverted, and more confident versions of themselves. Our research suggests that to the extent that furries identify with these idealized versions of themselves, they experience greater, self-esteem, life satisfaction, and whatnot. Our longitude research is currently testing if spending time as their ideal persona leads to positive changes in their own furries in their own personality personas and whatnot. Furries, while having more active fantasy lives, are no more likely than the general population to engage in, pathological forms of fantasy, delusion, escapism, excessive fantasy, and are more likely than members of the general population to engage in fantasy for healthy, beneficial reasons, including inspiring creativity, social interaction, and recreation fun.
Right. So realistically, long story short is that do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
Yeah.
And don't be depressed about it.
Yeah.
Now it really sucks to learn. No, this was a study that was done at least by article was from firstscience.com, and it's really interesting that like a lot of this really does stem from quite possibly a lot of child abuse or neglect or how they're treated in school or bullied by others that leads them to like create a safe space for themselves. They're like, if I can't feel socially accepted being me, well, fuck that. I'm just going to be whatever the fuck I want to be, and then I'll be happier doing that.
Yeah.
So then we get a whole bunch of the shit like, we need litter boxes in our schools, which, don't get me wrong, is a really interesting, controversial thing where a lot of parents are like offended or like that's really fucking stupid, but at the same time, who fucking cares, man?
Right.
I mean, fucking
But
just
I feel like people would get bullied more if I walk into a school and see some kid shit in a litter box.
right.
I'm
but,
just gonna walk away. But I feel like the douchey kids would bully the shit out of those kids.
probably,
Yeah.
but it's probably because they already also get bullied. So to be honest, that's the fucking ultimate get back. Like,
Right.
if it was me, be like, you know what? I'm gonna take a bunch of your shit every day, but you're gonna be fucking smelling mine all week and just fucking take
Right.
the biggest dumps right in front of me. Like, yeah, look at me take my shit, you fucking gross ass jocks. You like watching me take a shit, man? Could you imagine the weird like? How mentally scarring would that be to some other kids watching another kid take a shit in a litter box and they grow up and they're like, man,
No.
I'm into some fucking really weird stuff, dude. I don't even know where I got this fantasy, but I want you to take a dump on my chest.
See, that's
God.
how scat. That's how scat becomes a thing.
Right? I know, right? But is that like, are these furries that take, giant shits in litter boxes in schools if it's in public? Like, is that their goal? They're just like, I'm gonna mentally scar the fuck out of you. Like, there ain't nothing you can do to me. I'm already wearing a fucking animal costume, so look at me go. Now watch me shit.
Oh, Lord.
Honestly, if I took that to an extreme, I get it. You know what? I'd do it. That'd be fucking amazing.
Now, you know some fun facts, actually?
That Phil's gonna have Taco Bell and take a giant shit in a litter box, and it's gonna smell rank.
We come back there.
Don't be talking bad shit about my Taco Bell.
Are we talking bad shit about my shit?
Did you know that apparently Itagaki has confirmed that Haru shares a lot of similarities with her?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes a fictional character will share some similarities with their creators. It's just a fun fact of life and the creative process. While Itagaki identifies with Legoshi, some details of her personal life undeniably influenced Haru's creation. Aside from their names rhyming, a major similarity between the mangaka and the dwarf rabbit is their family dynamic, both having two older siblings that are close with their parents. Interestingly, Haru is the only character in Beastars who is shown to have a complete nuclear family, whereas almost everyone else is an only child raised by a single parent.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
kinda
when I read that,
interesting.
I'm like, oh man, wait, is Paru like super like freaky, just like Haru?
No,
No.
another
She
thing
wants
that,
to be
like,
super freaky.
I remember
yeah.
reading, and I swear I put it in here, but apparently I didn't. I must not have gotten that information. I don't know. But I read this article that nobody knows what, like, Paru really looks like. She keeps a lot of her personal life really secret, like most manga
Most
artists in
manga,
Japan.
yeah.
However, anytime she goes into... Phil's gonna get a kick out of this. Anytime she goes out in public to do, like, press meetings or whatever, she wears a chicken mask.
I saw that!
Right?
Holy shit, that's such a funny thing to do.
Right? It's really interesting that, like, and I don't know if that's more so to, hide, again, to hide your identity, to have some anonymity and retain some personal life stuff so people can't delve too deep. Unlike the fucking, like, the press and the media here in the States where fucking Matt Damon sneezes a booger slightly too big and everyone's talking about it for a fucking week and they're digging through the
God.
trash trying to get that
Matt
fucking...
Damon.
I don't fucking know. The man who got stranded on Mars, the Martian. Woo! I'm reading that book right now. It's really fucking good. Really good. I'm almost done.
Also, fun fact, Louis got his name from the Louis Vuitton bag line.
Oh, and that explains why he's, like, so fancy.
Yep.
Like, he is a fancy fucker.
He's a dapper
very,
deer.
like, proper. That isn't also to say that he loves to fuck the shit out of that rabbit, too, which makes a really weird love triangle
I'm
between
uncomfortable with that
Legoshi
phrase.
and, oh, yeah. Now, it is also, again, it's really strange because Louis is a fucking huge-ass deer, and, like, but, so his relationship with Haru is, like, secret. He doesn't tell
Right.
anyone. And I don't know why that is, though. I don't know if they ever really explained that. He's just like...
He doesn't
She's
want to
trash.
He doesn't want to be like seen
Well,
as
yeah,
anything else than
maybe.
like
Maybe
elegant
that's
and
it.
like the perfect student.
I don't know. I
in
feel
this
like
academy.
people like there's rumors about her. Like everyone knows that she's like the
Dude,
whore
she's
bunny.
like
She
she's
gets
like,
bullied, too, by
Yeah.
other rabbits.
But yes, everyone
True.
knows she's just like the slutty bunny that people just use for sex.
But she's open with it, though. She's like, at least I accept what I am.
Right.
You other fucks are pieces of shit that try to
Oh, yeah.
deny what you are.
Yeah,
and
like,
I
I mean-
get that.
I feel like in high school we all knew that one girl that like everyone fucked. Like you're like, oh yeah, that girl was like the whore in class. But then I bet you like there's probably really popular guys that knew that, and they would just go fuck her and not,
Yeah, true.
not tell, like, you just don't tell anybody.
True. Yeah, not saying that that's not social. Like, I mean, I don't know, kids are stupid. Really, like, bottom line is, like, they just don't really understand, like, the fact that, like, sex is fine. Who cares what, like, it used to be a really big stigma of, like, once you've been with a girl, you've been with every other man that girl has been with. That was quite literally how some people were raised.
Thank you for the line.
Well,
Kermit.
I mean, that's different. Though. I think.
Thanks.
I think that's
thanks,
like
Piggy. How many men have you been with her?
I think that with that statistic, I think that's like an STD thing. Like you're exposed.
Yeah, true, and it's another one of those social stigmas that just needs to kind of be done away with, because there's obviously many healthy ways to do it, and it's not a big deal. Some people just like to fuck. It's fine. Just fucking let them fuck.
Just don't spread diseases.
Yeah, be safe.
Right,
Be
yeah,
courteous.
I mean, you can be safe, get tested, whatever, do what you got to do. But yeah,
Have fun.
before we get too much further than this, we are coming up on time. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say about fucking fuck or animals or fucking?
So what I'll say is that I feel like the entirety of the first season, I shouldn't say entirety, 90% of the first season felt completely unneeded. And if they had taken the little bit of stuff that actually was like genuinely good in season 1 and just put it with season 2, I felt like it would have been a lot better. It just feels like a lot of things they set up in season 1 had no payoff in season 2. Haru being one of the main characters in season 1, I feel like she's barely in season 2 at all. It just, I don't know. Like I said, I felt like season 1 was a bore fest, and it took so much effort for me to finish it. It just, I don't understand why they did season 1 the way they did when season 2, and I'll give you that, season 2 much better. I will definitely agree season 2 is much better. But season 1, if I were to give season 1 just its own rating, probably give it a 3 out of 10. The first episode and the last episode, probably the best episodes. Season 2, I give it a 6 or a 7, to be honest. It's better. It does a lot of things that I think the first season needed to do. But what would you guys say?
Well, I mean, my thoughts on it. I loved the show through and through. There are some parts where I was like, okay, but I feel like I'm a little more open to just, I know things are going to be different. It's just a show. But behind it, there are, like, a lot of real world issues against, like, prejudice and segregation and all this other shit that it really hints on, in the background, not just because they're animals, but because it's stuff we really have to deal with. However, Google has this currently reviewed at a 4.7 out of 5. And there's a shit ton of reviews, right?
I'd say it's pretty popular.
Yeah, it really is. Now, there's a ton of 5-star reviews. Most of them are all fucking, like, novels. Everyone had to be like, okay, now this is why it's a 5. And I'm not going to read one that's fucking 5 minutes long. However, a pretty nice short and sweet one by ZO from 1 year ago. The greatest anime I've ever watched. Okay, that's a little much, but I'm gonna sound like a bot because I have nothing but praise. Yeah, already you do, but that's fine. No worries. I was scrolling through Netflix for something to watch, and I saw this and skipped it every time, but one day I was really bored and clicked it. I assumed it was gonna be furry garbage because I don't trust Netflix anime, but dear God, I was wrong. I thought the 3D animation was going to be its downfall, but surprisingly, it really helps the style. The director made perfect decisions when it came to the animation, soundtrack, sound effects, script, and the dubbed line delivery. How does this exist? Most other anime need 2 to 3 episodes for a strong hook. This anime will hook you in hard in episode 1, especially when you see the end of it. Enjoyment and ratings are subjective, but anyone that gives this less than a 10 out of 10 needs to be lobotomized. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there.
I'm looking at a bunch of the 1-star reviews because me, I gotta be. Literally everything is just furry this, furry that, bad anime, animals fucking. I love this one comment about how he basically it's cool and all, and take out all the inappropriate scenes, like when Haru walked up to Legoshi and randomly looked in his pants. That was wrong. And this anime is acting like animals all live happily ever after, but they just want to eat each other and fuck. Right. So it's I feel like I can't read a lot of these because, like, it's not meant to be like shit on the furry, anime. It's just to me, the season 1 story went nowhere.
Yep.
They set up a really good plot point that I was excited for and did nothing with it. And I feel like that is a giant slap in the face.
Yeah, a little
It made
bit.
no sense to do that. And then season 2, while a lot better, takes a lot of what they built up in season 1 and does nothing with it, really, in my opinion.
To a point.
So, to me, I feel like the show, combining seasons 1 and 2 together as a series, unfortunately, I have to give it like a total like 5 out of 10.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of people that also give like, you know, some of those really low reviews just talking about furry this, furry that, blah blah blah. I think it's a lot of like the fact that I don't know. I approach almost everything with a pretty open mind, but I try to see like the deeper meaning behind, like, I'm not just looking at it as animals trying to do it. Like there's more complex story in there. You just have to be open enough to try to understand what it is. So I feel like a lot of people just don't, you know, open up that much to try to look at things from different perspectives.
Right.
Like I feel like I do. Aiden, do you have any last any last remarks before we close this up?
No, that's how I agree with you on that too. I feel like a lot of people go into just like, no, I don't want to watch it because it's a furry anime. But if you take away that mindset and actually watch it, it is actually a really good drama anime. Like if you watch it just as a drama anime, it's not bad. I give it a solid like maybe 7 out of 10. There's great music. The animation does complement it really well. Like usually I'm not a fan of like the 3D animation, but yeah, they actually did it pretty well with this. It goes well with like what they're trying to do. Like everything goes well with the music, everything goes well with what they're trying to do. But yeah, there are some slow points. But then like I don't know, it picks up in a lot of places, and yeah, it just there are plot holes, but like what anime doesn't have like slow points or plot holes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good overall. I'd say if you want an open mind, you just actually look at it, you know, like you were saying, just like the deeper meaning. Like they do cover stuff like human trafficking, but with animals, prejudice, racist stuff, kind of with the carnivores, and just there's tension. If you just watch it as just a drama anime and just kind of ignore the fact that they're actually animals, it's not. It's actually pretty good.
It's also a little bit of like a coming of age kind of show too, because these are all supposed to be like teenagers, but like close to like in early adulthood.
Right.
That's how they get away with the rabbit stuff. And they say she's 18.
Well, Legoshi too is also trying to, you know, come to, you know, and try to figure himself a lot. And like, am I going to this or this? Should I do this? And he's a lot of it's just him trying to figure himself out and develop as a young adolescent.
I did like Legoshi. Like he as a character, he's just trying to figure his shit out in life, and you know we're all trying to do that in this day and age, right?
Yep. I don't think who isn't. But hey, I want to thank everybody for listening into our episode. I absolutely want to thank Schminkadelic for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his tunes on iTunes and Apple Music if you love that dance and trance that will slap you in the dick. I also want to mention really quick again about Dubby Energy at dubby.gg. Use our code Men of Zen at checkout for 10% off your order. I think that might do us do it for us here at the Men of Zen.
Episode 21, boys. We made
Episode
it.
21. Hey, we're fucking doing it. Hey, thank you everybody for listening. This has been the Men of Zen once again. My name is Brent.
I'm Phil.
That's not Phil. I'm Aiden.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Stay zen.